every parent knows if their kid is up to something. Be friends with everyone, be kind, talk to your parents only. Like, I'm dead serious. Just a little advice. She can start dating though.
I know.
Hey guys, what is up? We are going to be filming a Q&A. It is a mother-teen relationship, Kesley Shannon relationship, and we're not experts, but we'll be happy to give you guys advice and what works for us. I'm gonna start with Kesley. Here's a question for her. This is a good one. Does Kesley ever feel like she needs her privacy with things?
No, really, to be honest. I mean, like, my mom gives me a lot of privacy, honestly. And honestly, I tell her everything, that she doesn't really need to come to me and be like, so.
I'll ask her, I'll say, you know, how was like your day or whatever, and she'll be like, oh, it's good. And sometimes I can tell she doesn't want to go too much into detail, so I'll say, okay, well, are you all right? And she'll be like, yeah. And then what happens is, if I just kind of slowly kind of ask her a few questions, eventually she'll open up, and I'll say, well, you seem kind of sad. And she'll say, well, this is what happened. So I definitely try to make sure that I take time to
yeah, like she doesn't like
hear. I try to let her know that I'm here for her, but I'm not going to force it out of her, if that makes sense. I'm never going to force anything out of her. So if she wants to open up to me, that's great, and I'm here for her, and she knows that. But there was another question, and someone wants to know, do I go through your phone? Do I ever check through your phone?
No.
I've never
like,
checked through her phone.
She has access to my Instagram, which is fine. I'm never really on there.
I get on there and Corey gets on there because she gets asked for sponsorships, and advertisers come over there a lot of the time to ask if she'll.
Yeah, so I have a lot of privacy on my phone, but of course it's not like too much where it's like,
well, I don't think
I'm hiding things on my phone.
Exactly. I really truly feel like I can trust her, and that's the thing, you have to trust your kids. I think every parent knows if their kid is up to something. I know some kids will say, my parents don't. They think I'm perfect. I really doubt that. I think parents know. I really truly don't worry about Kesley. She's definitely not like a typical teenager, I feel like, in a lot of ways, which is good and bad, because I kind of sometimes wish she would venture out a little bit and get, you know, like, it's okay to be late with a curfew. She's always on time. I'm grateful because I think I'm gonna have my work cut out with me for Reese. Like, Reese is my mini-me to a T, which is sometimes why I think Reese and I clash a little more, or I think I'm more worried that we're gonna clash as she gets older. The relationship I have with Kesley is gonna be completely different than the relationship I have with Reese, or with Perri, or with Rhett. Like, obviously Rhett's a boy, it's gonna be completely different.
Rhett's pretty open too, I would say.
Rhett is pretty open. I'm actually really shocked.
Like,
Rhett has come home and told me something.
I mean, I feel like he's more open to dad because he's a boy. Yeah, but like, he's pretty open.
And he's asked Corey several questions. Like, he'll come inside from school and he's like, hey dad, what does this mean? Like, you know, he hears things at school. What does this mean? And Corey will straight up tell him. And then he's asked me questions about girls, like, what do girls think about this? And I feel like he is totally opening up to that kind of stuff, which is awesome. And I even said to him, I even told Rhett, and you guys, and this is one thing I think moms need to do, is they need to praise their kids for coming to them and saying something like this, because I actually went to Rhett and I said, Rhett, I like touched him on the shoulder and I said, thank you so much for coming and talking to me. And I told him, I seriously said, I'm so glad that you feel like you can tell me these things, because I want him to know that without judgment, my kids are gonna make mistakes. They're gonna make so many mistakes. But I want them to know that no matter what, like, if Kesley makes a mistake in the future, which you probably will, I hope you know, without a doubt, I'm not going to be upset with you. I'm here for you, because you know what? My parents were there for me. I made mistakes, and my mom and dad were 100% so sweet and helped me get through my mistake that I made, and it made all the difference having a supportive parent. I just want them to know they can come to me.
Which brings to the other question I saw earlier. It said, are you a mama's girl or daddy's girl? Just like Rhett, he's like more open to my dad, or our dad. He's more open to my dad because he's just a boy. I'm more open to my mom because she's a girl, and like she understands more. And I mean, I'm open to my dad too, but I don't go into detail with him, because he just like I feel like he doesn't understand. Like, he doesn't understand girls things. And Rhett probably thinks that you don't understand boy things, which we don't at all. Yeah. Boys are just so confusing.
Do you guys fight ever?
Of course we do. We always have arguments.
We have arguments over homework, going to tumbling, going to piano, doing things she doesn't want to do. She's like, I don't want to go, I'm too tired. And I'm like, Kesley, get up. Or I've asked her to clean her room several times and she doesn't do it. I'm like, Kesley, seriously? Like, for example, there's a whole bunch of laundry that I just stuck in her room yesterday.
I was doing my homework.
She washed it all, but I had to get out of the laundry room and bring it here. I'm like, Kesley, you gotta put it away now. She's like, okay, I will. And it's been sitting here for 2 days. But like things like that, or that's kind of like our fights. Or like, say for example, Corey and I go on a date. And I come home and my house is a mess. I'm like, really? Not one of you guys would try to keep my house clean while I was gone? Like that kind of stuff?
Of course, like everyone, it's just like a friend you have. You're gonna get in arguments with your friends. And like fights. And I feel like it's more common for family because you're always together.
How do you feel, this is a question for me about Kesley. How do you feel about relationships with boys, even just as friends? I'm fine. Like now she's 16, like she'll be 16 in a couple weeks.
I'm gonna be dating. She's
gonna be dating and having fun with boys. I've never been like, you can't be friends with, like I'm all about like, bring your friends over, let's hang out. I'm the type of parent that wants to know what my kids are up to. So the whole goal of moving to this house and eventually getting my basement finished is to make it a place where all the kids wanna come hang out. And I think I wanna do it that way because I think it's important for parents to know what their kids are up to. And for me, like, I want my basement to be an entertaining space. Not necessarily so I can be down there helicoptering, like being a helicopter parent. But it is nice to know, like, that in my home, I'm gonna know what's going on.
Does Kesley have a boyfriend? I don't know. Single as a Pringle, baby. Hit me up. I say that every video. Hit me up.
Hit me up. Yeah.
Guys.
She can start dating, though.
I know. That's why I don't have a boyfriend now. I can start dating.
And she's gonna have just like get to like.
I have a crush, but I don't have a boyfriend.
How did you guys build such a close relationship? I think it just kind of happened. Kesley was my only like adult conversation, if you will, even as a 10-year-old, 9-year-old. She was the closest thing to an adult that I could have around in the house because Corey was gone so often that like I needed like a little out. So every time Corey would come home, like, you stay home with the littles. I'm taking Kesley and we're gonna go get a drink. And then I'd get drinks at Sonic. I would get the same thing every time I went. I'd get my Diet Coke, light ice.
I've got Slurpees.
2 shots of vanilla, because there was no coconut cream back then. This is like 2009. So I think that's kind of when our relationship started to grow. And then she hit middle school, like 6th grade was middle school for her. And that's kind of
got a little closer.
Yeah, I think part of it was like she was like liking boys.
Yeah, I actually started liking boys.
And
I got close.
Yes, and so that's kind of how our relationship.
Knew some good boy advice.
Sort of. Middle school's hard, you guys. It's a really hard, I'm telling you right now.
The worst year I had was 9.
That's when you really need to strive hard to have a relationship with your parents. Like, don't be afraid to tell your mom or dad something that's happening at school. Like, don't be afraid to tell them if a friend's being mean. Like, I remember pulling out notes out of Kesley's pockets in her pants as I get her to wash them, and there were mean notes that girls were writing to each other, like, why did you say this about me? Like, and because they didn't have a cell phone at that time. And I remember reading all these kind of notes, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're having the girl drama. And so I'd ask Kesley a little bit about it. I'm like, what's going on at school? And, you know, like I said, once again, I didn't cry, but I wanted her to know that she could talk to me if she wanted to. And oftentimes it would give her a little bit, but she would. Eventually she would come to me and we would talk. That's how our relationship kind of started growing, was 9 years old, 10 years old. We just kind of it naturally just happened. Kesley, you tell your mom everything.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, sometimes it'll just be like stupid things that I even tell her, like, oh,
I'm sure I don't know everything.
Or yeah. Well, I think.
You do?
I'm pretty sure you do. I feel
didn't know that. I thought maybe you'd keep something from me.
In middle school, it was hard trusting girls back then. And even now, like, it's just, I don't tell all my friends everything. I mean, sometimes I'll just be like I'll tell them about crushes, but like, I tell my mom, like, just everything. Because she knows what's going on in my life. She's always here. And like, I even tell her, like, sometimes I even tell her, I just be like, I cried. And then she's like, why? And then I'll just tell her, like, honestly, they're stupid too. Like, sometimes I'm trying to think, like, oh, I haven't flossed for 2 days. Like, just something stupid like that.
She hasn't flossed for 2 days. Oh no, what a rebel. Like, guys.
Like, I would literally tell her everything. There's not one thing I probably have not told her. Unless it's just kind of like, stupid.
You are so funny. How do you share things with your mom and not worried about her getting mad at you?
Well, honestly, everything I tell her and everything I do is not really bad, and so I know she won't get mad at me. But if I ever do something bad, I know that she even tells me she made mistakes, and honestly, she wants me to tell her. And so she's like, I won't get mad. Just tell me. I want you to trust me. Just tell me, and we'll work through it, and like just things like that. Of course, every mom's gonna be like a little disappointed. They'll be like, oh, that's okay. I mean, and of course, if they do get mad, it's because they're just kind of sad, like that you made that choice, you know. But like it makes me happier when I tell her.
Yes.
Because when I did something, I have to tell someone, because like it's so like it's just something that I just wasn't supposed to do, and I just have to tell someone.
What are the things you talk about most?
School, boys, friends. Sometimes I'll just talk about the drama I had and get some advice, because she's had a lot of drama with her friends.
I think every person, every female has had a drama with friends. If anyone says they haven't.
Just girls are so dramatic about things.
So Kesley's the type of person who bottles up her feelings. Like, for example, not with me, but with her friends. So when she'd hang out with her other friends in the past, if she was bothered by something they do, she won't let you know that she's bothered. She'll come home and tell me about it though.
Yeah, like I
won't tell them.
Like if someone is being, like if this girl is being super rude, I'll just brush it off for the rest of the day, and then I come home and tell my mom and be like, oh my gosh, she was so rude to me today, and she's so annoying.
Yeah.
And then and sometimes I don't even tell my mom everything until like a couple of like days later.
I've even said to Kesley, I said, Kesley, maybe you should tell them how you feel. She's like, no, I don't want to.
No, my mom. Okay, but you also gave me the best advice. Just stay quiet.
Gossip is a #1, I think, thing that ruins
And I know my
friendships.
mom will never just go like girls. That's why I can't like trust other girls, because even if they're really good friends, you just never know. Like you can get on their bad side, and then they can just go and tell all the things you've said.
And a lot of times that does happen. Well, and I've told her, I've learned from my past experience. I was in 7th grade and I had a really bad experience with a bunch of girls. Like what happened was we'd all like talk about somebody. I mean, you guys, it happens. You're talking about a friend, and then they talk about a friend, and then anyway, what happens is eventually they're telling that friend that you said it, but they also are the ones that said it, and I got all the blame for it.
Yeah, she had
this. Like, Shannon's one who said it all. Shannon's one, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not the only one who said it. You did too, but I got all the blame for it.
Yeah, see, so she had like this big experience, and she told me about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know
like,
that
all my
happened.
friends literally turned on me, and I was just like, what the heck just happened? These girls were mad at me for probably like a couple weeks. Like I literally, like, it was a horrible experience. So I told Kes, I said,
yeah, that's why
keep your mouth shut.
I will never say like, oh my gosh, this girl is just being so annoying. This is what she did, blah blah blah. Because if I do, they'll just go tell this girl, and then like she'll get mad at me.
That's the best advice I can offer all of you. Be friends with everyone. Be kind. Talk to your parents only. Like I'm dead serious. Just a little advice. Were you mad when Kesley had her first kiss?
No.
No.
She was actually like, oh my gosh. Like,
well, I was surprised at first. I really didn't believe her because I thought she was totally pranking me. I literally thought you were pranking me. But I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm glad the guy that she kissed was a really, really like a good kid.
Yeah.
And
I do not regret my first kiss at
no,
all.
which is good.
In a way, we kind of rushed it, but I mean, it's fine. It came when it came.
It's a good story.
It wasn't like
but it wasn't like someone you barely knew. I mean, you guys knew each other for a long time.
For a while, but
How do you feel about Kesley now that she's gonna start dating? I'm really excited for her.
my mom's really been like she's been really excited to like see me go out with some boys and go to dances.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that because those were like some of the best memories of high school. I was like
I'm super excited.
getting your dress and
I'm excited to get my first dress
and going to a date dance and having all that kind of fun. Like that, the experiences of high school are so fun.
So
I'm really excited for her to like date. Yeah. And someone asked if it's okay if you have a boyfriend. I encourage her to not have a boyfriend, but I can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, of course I may have a boyfriend in the future, but I think it's good not to have one now because you're dating a bunch of people and you don't want to have a boyfriend while you're going on dates with other people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice not to.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I kind of encourage you to just like go around and just hang out and date other boys, like just.
But in the future, I may get a boyfriend.
And that's okay. And that's okay. Yeah. You know what? My parents told me they didn't want me having a boyfriend either when I was 16. And guess what? I had one. And I dated him my whole sophomore year of high school, and that's just the way it is. I'm not gonna say I encourage her not to, but if she has a boyfriend, she has a boyfriend.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video.
And make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up.
Subscribe
To the channel.
You smelly dog.
And I'm gonna go take a bath and get a haircut.
Yay! Because she
Oh,
smells so
babies.
bad. Anyways, we love you guys.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.